live from the SBC Center in San Antonio. It's game one of the Western quarterfinals between the San Antonio Spurs and the Denver Nuggets. Hi, I'm Marv Alvin, along with the Czar, Mike
Here
Fratello.
are tonight's
player
starters
introductions
for your San Antonio Spurs. Starting at center, Nazim Mohammed. Starting at forward, Bruce Bowen. Starting at guard, Manu Ginobili. Starting at the other guard, Tony Parker. Starting at the other forward, Tim Duncan. The coach, Greg Popovich.
San Antonio gets possession, and they'll look for their first points of this ball game. Martin with the sound defense.
Tim Duncan.
Nobody able to come up with that loose ball. A terrific interception by Duncan.
He played them that time. He made them think the pass was the...
Oh, a great rejection. Candy with quite a play.
He read his man perfectly, Mark.
Out of bounds, last touch by the Nuggets. Misses from the paint.
Martin is not allowing anything easy down low.
He did an outstanding job pressuring the ball. Martin with the shot, makes it count from the post. Bowen defended by Anthony. The two's no good. Rebounded by Martin. Brings it up court. No good from the right of the circle. He bothered the shooter enough to force the miss. We're seeing some nice defense by Bowen. Ball's passed around by the Spurs. Parker, low in the post, hits the finger roll.
Parker.
Miller tries the spin move. Misses the close shot. The Nuggets not able to respond. Bowen from point-blank range. Muhammad sends it back.
He stayed with his man and read the play perfectly. Great block.
The strong finish by the player out of Argentina.
Marv, Manu Ginobili is one of those rare players who has the size at 6'6" and the athletic ability to knife into the lane. He's fearless when he attacks the rim, and we've seen him throw down some pretty impressive dunks.
From down low, able to hit. Fires from downtown. Can't hit from downtown. The attempt from downtown missed after the solid defensive play by Anthony. Solid defensive play by Duncan. Jumper doesn't go. Muhammad able to come up with it. Ginobili in heavy traffic, able to finger roll. Ten seconds showing on the shot clock. Kenyon Martin, the spectacular dunk. with no room to breathe. The three is off the mark.
The Nuggets are doing an outstanding job of boxing out and keeping the offensive team off the glass.
Out of bounds. The officials say it's last touched by the Nuggets. The pass played perfectly by Anthony. Great effort on the defensive end.
He managed to disrupt the other team's offensive flow.
We're seeing some passing by Denver. Martin with 4 left. Can't get the tipper. Ginobili beats him with the crossover. Johnson sends it away. The loose ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Spurs.
For Denver, number 9, Brian Russell.
Miller surrounded. No good. Bowen with his first board of the game. Parker shooting, doesn't fall from the left of the circle. Setting it up on the right. Muhammad with the pressure. Jumpers off the mark. Bowen has been very well positioned defensively.
He's disrupting shots and making it difficult for the other team to score.
Parker from in close. Drills it for the three-point play opportunity.
To the line, shooting one, Tony Parker.
Parker able to complete a three-point play.
For the Denver
Nene
Nuggets,
coming
number
into the
21.
game off the bench for the Nuggets. The Spurs playing airtight defense. Ten to put it up. Muhammad on the denial. Loose ball, last touch by the Spurs. Shot clock is down to 5. Has to shoot with no time left. The perimeter shot is off the mark.
This is not what we're accustomed to seeing offensively. Credit the defense for challenging every shot.
From the perimeter, the Spurs open up a double-digit advantage. He serves up the facial. Marcus Camby.
Russell with the big-time rejection.
He's making a statement defensively, Czar. That was quite a block.
Miller.
Tim Duncan with the emphatic dunk.
Tim Duncan. San Antonio to number 21, Tim Duncan.
Nene is fouled, and he's being sent to the line.
Number 1.
It drops. Nene gets them
Into the
both.
game for the Nuggets.
Heads it off the bench for the Nuggets. Boykins right up on his man. Barry puts it up. The shot erased by Pope.
He read the other player perfectly and got the rejection.
That was a spectacular defensive play. Patience being shown by the Nuggets. Buckner from close range.
Missing shots from inside is hurting this team's chances of evening the score. They're lucky it's still close.
Ten on the shot clock. He doesn't bite on the fake. Shot clock showing full.
The nice steal. Used his quickness to come away with the ball.
Finger rolls good.
Earl Boykins.
San Antonio wants
For the Denver
time.
Nuggets, number 4, DeMar Johnson.
Number 2 bringing it up court. Hope with the steal. He just completed an outstanding defensive play.
Great timing, Mark. He picked the right moment to go for the ball.
Anthony being guarded closely. From the low block, counted for 2.
Duncan.
Boykins elevates, no good from the perimeter. San Antonio is making a nice effort right now to keep the other team off the glass. Tim Duncan puts it down with power.
Duncan.
Boykins takes him into the air, out off the ricochet. The Nuggets are bringing in some fresh legs to try and turn things around here.
Marcus Camby.
Sets it up. Nene blocks it.
That was an
2 minutes
outstanding block, Mark.
in the
He
first
definitely has his moments on defense.
Can't find the hole. Nene able to put it down.
He's explosive around the basket, Mark. He moves extremely well for a big man and has the ball handling skills and the quickness to get by his defenders and get to the rim.
That's a backcourt violation.
The players without the ball have to do a better job of helping out and relieving the pressure.
Anthony with the jump shot. Can't make the long 2. He didn't get the block, but prevented the basket anyway.
That's just good hustle to narrow the gap between himself and the shooter. He made it difficult for the shooter to shoot his normal shot, and that threw him off.
The Nuggets are playing tight defense. Camby swats it away. Boykins with the ball. Gets 2 with the finger roll.
Earl Boykins.
Here's Duncan.
The Spurs are getting a lot of scoring done from the inside tonight. The bulk of their points have come from in close.
Anthony going to the spin move. Oh, what a block. Tim Duncan. The nice fake. Comes up empty. The shot clock's been turned off. "14 seconds showing on the clock. Sends it back. Boykins with the jumper. Denied by Esterovich. From the post. Well, as the first quarter draws to a close, the Spurs lead by 6. They've been the better team thus far today.
There's still lots of time left to be played.
The ball being worked around by Denver. Johnson up with the shot. Doesn't get the long two. Tight defense by Miller.
Kemby made a smart defensive play, Mark.
You're right, Czar. Foul was the only way to stop him from scoring. Ginobili hits the free throw. He hits both.
Into the game.
Enters the game for the first time tonight for the Spurs. Anthony tries the jumper, hits the two.
Great defensive pressure, Mark.
The other team is having a difficult time executing on offense. Marcus Camby with the tomahawk. A spectacular finish. Setting it up. Hits for two.
This has been a very solid performance here so far.
I agree, Czar. This team is getting the job done with their scoring. Setting it up on the left. With the shot. The two's no good. Ginobili with the good hands. Parker sets it up on the right side. Comes up with two.
Ginobili was too much for his defender and came away with the basket.
Martin out of the crowd. 2 points from in the key. Martin practically hugging his man defensively. Manu Ginobili throws it down with two hands. Horry on the rejection. 10 to put it up. Too much contact, could not adjust in time to make it fall. He crosses over. The Spurs are lucky that pass did not get picked off.
They've thrown a He forces the turnover. The active hands coming up with the strip.
Finishes strong with two hands. Darling long distance.
Johnson. That's his first.
Johnson commits the foul, his first. Ginobili sinks it from the line. No good. Ginobili able to make 2 of 3.
Into the game.
Buckner checks into the action off the bench for the Nuggets. Misses from the, chips it in.
No one put a body on him, so he goes up and gets the easy one.
They work it around, trying to find the open shot. Makes it count from the post.
They're doing a great job of finishing on the offensive end.
Right, Czar, the other team needs to find a way to slow them down. Defended hard by Parker. Down to 2. The miss, and it goes out of bounds. Barry is now checking in for the Spurs.
Number 17, Grant Barry.
the rejection.
Marv, Kenyon's a tough, aggressive defender, and he's one of the most explosive players in the league. The way he can get up, he's showing no ill effects from his leg injuries from early on in his career. A solid effort at the defensive end.
Terrific defensive pressure by Miller. Miller puts it up. The two's no good. Advances up court. Buckner is not buying. From the paint, the Spurs have a 10-point lead. He sets up on the left side. Anthony closely guarded. Oh, rejected. Tim Duncan. Timeout is used by
San
Denver.
Antonio Spurs, number 8, Resho Nesterovic.
With the pull-up, counted for 2. Completely handcuffed by blocks it. Buckner in traffic. Brent Barry, he throws it down.
The Spurs are playing well and have their opponent looking baffled on defense.
He takes it inside. Stolen by Ori.
A great defensive play, Mark.
He forced his man to turn the ball over. Barry picked up by Buckner. Martin with the block.
Spurs
From downtown,
to number 5,
Buckner able to draw the foul and hits to the line for 3 shots. Makes the first. Misses his second. Buckner gets 2 out of 3. With a nice defensive play.
A quick chance to strip the ball and run it back the other way.
Out of bounds on the loose ball. Rejected by Bowen. 10 seconds showing on the shot clock. Martin gets it off.
He is shooting under 40% from the field.
Parker from three-point territory. No good from three-point land. Guarded closely by Ori. Martin, not a lot of space. Hits for 2.
He worked to get good post position, received the pass, and did a nice job of finishing inside.
Setting it up on the left. Parker from up close.
Nuggets foul to number 31.
Their coach has to be happy with how this game is going. They're in front by a comfortable margin.
A little background for you, Marv. Greg Popovich graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy and was a star player on the basketball team for 4 seasons. He later returned there and spent 6 years as an assistant coach.
Miller, little room to move, puts it in from close range. Bowen is met by Russell. From down low, he had difficulty getting a good look. The defender played that pretty well.
He was right up on him, put a hand in his face, and forced the adjustment. Anytime a shooter adjusts mid-rhythm, the chances of him hitting it go way down.
Number 11, Earl Boykins.
10 seconds to get a shot off. Anthony right at the basket. Misses from close. Parker handling. He doesn't go for the fake. The Spurs trying to find the open man. Buckner doesn't take the fake. Nene denies him. Loose ball out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Canby now returning to the floor for the Nuggets.
Number 23, Marcus Canby.
Parker is all over his man. Puts it up from the perimeter. The three doesn't go.
Robinson stayed with his man and forced him into a tough three.
It's important not to give up easy looks from outside. Robinson with defenders all over him.
The Spurs are encountering only passive resistance at the offensive end of the floor.
Boykins at the basket. Robinson is definitely doing his part defensively to slow down the other team.
They're having a tough time making shots.
Nuggets foul.
The defensive foul committed by Boykins. That's his first personal. He gets it to fall. Canby with 3 boards so far. And a timeout taken by the Nuggets.
2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
He changes direction. Boykins in heavy traffic. Shots no good.
San Antonio has been extremely effective defensively over the last few possessions.
The other team is having a very difficult time scoring. Johnson stays on his feet. Duncan looking to hit. Post shot is no good. Parker comes up with it.
And they run it back up court. A nice defensive stop that time, using his quick hands to get the steal.
Anthony with a tight-fisted defensive stand. The Spurs taking their time and getting that extra touch. Sent away by Canby. Anthony with no room to breathe. Can't get it to fall. Parker working from the middle. Duncan, clock reads 5. Yes!
Great job moving the ball on offense and finding the open man in the post.
14 left to play in the quarter. Duncan with the rejection. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Swatted by Anthony. So the second quarter comes to a close. The Spurs lead by 17.
They're in complete control of this game and will be very tough to beat.
It's difficult to imagine the other team making a serious run. Here are the key players at the half. The Nuggets passing the ball around the court. The Spurs are playing loose, giving them the outside. He bites on the fake, clocks at 4.
Johnson with a nice pump fake. Got him to bite, stepped to the open spot, and nailed that jumper.
The Nuggets are stifling their opponents tonight, bodied up by Miller.
Defensive foul to number 6, Kenyon Martin.
Martin with the foul. That's his second personal, first team foul. Duncan can't find the hole. He's 1 of 2. Miller bringing it up court. Shot clock is down to 5.
What interception. Beautiful play. He saw that pass all the way and stole it.
Duncan!
Muhammad denies the shot. Muhammad with the facial.
Nazim Mohammed.
Muhammad with a nice block. Canby returns it to him. Nobody able to come up with that loose ball. Picked off by Miller. Here's Anthony. Another rebound for the one-time Demon Deacon.
Marvin's incredible what he's been able to accomplish. He gets it back. Nice job of playing the passing lane.
Muhammad rejects it. Blocked by Canby. Out of bounds on the loose ball. Ginobili pulls up, misses the 2. He used his length and forced the shooter to shoot it over him. Some good defense played by Canby. Here's Miller. Can't hit for 2.
Duncan has been a force so far in this game on the defensive boards. His athleticism and his physicalness have really been on display in this game.
For 3.
Bowen rejects that shot. Ginobili with the notion to fire. Comes up empty.
Canby used his size to take away the clean look and forced him into that miss.
Great defense by Ginobili.
Miller pressured the ball and caused that turnover, Mark.
He looks very focused right now defensively. Nicely done by Ginobili.
He was showcasing his quickness there. 1 minute the passing lane was open. The next minute, he's there to pick it off.
Bowen surrounded. Hits the jumper.
Bowen.
He sets up on the right. Duncan, unshakable, denies his man any entry to the key. Parker with the interception. The Nuggets are really struggling today with turnovers.
The passer needs to make sure the intended receiver is open and ready to catch the ball.
10 to put it up. Parker elevates and shoots. Hits the 2. Finds the mark over the taller defender.
All he needed was a little daylight. He saw it. His defender wasn't in position to use his height advantage. He comes away with a basket.
Shot clock showing 4. The 2's no good.
Bowen playing some standout defense there. He knew the shot clock was ticking down, and he didn't let him get a good look, forcing the missed shot.
Canby with another rebound. They are sharing the ball on the offensive end.
Johnson, the nice take that time, showing him the pump fake and used his speed to get to the basket.
Miller didn't bite on that one. Only 5 to get a shot off. What a move. Tim Duncan.
Into the
Denver
game for
looking
the Denver
to talk it
Nuggets,
over.
Number 21, Greg Buckner.
Bowen making a defensive statement. He puts one up. The Spurs lead by 27.
Buckner able to avoid the block, drain that shot. What a play.
A nice steal by Miller.
The Nuggets are playing with a lot of energy at the defensive end.
The pressures make things very difficult for the other team.
They did a tremendous job of converting a difficult play. Great pass and finish on the alley-oop.
Anthony is not buying. Fires from the perimeter. The 3 doesn't go. Collected by Nene. Anthony with the shot. Misses the 2.
Ginobili extended himself there to force him into the difficult shot.
He crosses over. Here's Ginobili. Can't hit for 2.
Martin was able to contest that shot and force the miss. We're seeing some nice defense from him right now.
Martin from down low. Good move by Ginobili. No good. Finger rolls it for 2. Parker with the ball. The spectacular dunk.
The assist to Tony Parker.
Setting it up on the right. Anthony bothered by Bowen. Can't hit from downtown.
That was a tough three, Marv. The defensive player was right there.
An impressive defensive stop by
15,
Bowen.
Carmelo Anthony.
Ginobili is fouled by
Team
Anthony.
Number 2.
It's good. Makes the second. Shot's good. Pope now entering the game for the Nuggets.
Number 41, Mark Pope.
Anthony at the rim.
San Antonio foul to number 13, Nazi Mohammed.
Anthony was hit on the attempt and is sent to the line. He gets it to fall. Two for two. Robinson seeing his first action of the night for the Spurs.
31, Glenn Robinson.
Parker sets it up on the right side. Barry being guarded closely and counted. Lays it home. The Spurs pass it around, looking for a hole in the defense.
2 minutes left in the third
Barry
quarter.
covered by Johnson. Hits it with 2 to spare. Miller taking a look from the right side. The Nuggets come up with an answer on the offensive end. The Spurs on a timeout. Parker on the left side. Parker setting up down low. Down to 5, and it's good. That's a matchup in his favor.
Look for him to go at his defender and try to get some points.
Oh, it's denied. Robert Horry. Parker looking to hit from downtown. Their opponent is showing the touch. They've made a couple in a row.
They're doing everything possible on defense to slow down this run.
Buckner challenged by Robinson. Misses the turnaround. 13 seconds remaining on the clock. Johnson steals the pass.
Again, a difficult pass is intercepted by the other team. They need to learn from their mistakes and cut down on the careless turnovers.
It's good. The officials will have to review it, though, but it looked good from here. So after 3, the Spurs lead by 26.
They've dominated this game at both ends of the court.
It would take a major collapse to lose this game. Anthony doesn't take the fake. A terrific interception by Miller.
He did a nice job of staying in front of his man and forcing a bad pass.
Knocked away by Bowen. With the penetration. The strong finish. Well, the other team looks unstoppable right now.
They're applying good defensive pressure. There's not much they can do.
Anthony tees it up, comes up empty. Rebound secured by Duncan. Ginobili out of the crowd, no good from the right of the circle. Bowen playing his man nose to nose, counted for two. Converts even with the defender coming.
That is a tougher shot than it seems. Oftentimes when a man is running at you, you're worried about the contact. You're rushing your shot. A lot of things go through your head. He didn't let any of that distract him.
Off the mark with the turnaround. The two's no good. Batted away by Duncan.
That was great anticipation, Mark.
I agree. An impressive defensive read by Martin.
To number 2.
Miller is able to draw the foul.
That's his second personal. Team foul, number 1.
Bowen with the nice steal.
His man exposed the ball, trying to set up for the first step, and he stripped him of it with his quick hands. They need to be careful near the half-court line.
Outstanding hustle by the defense. He elevates. Nastarovich knocks it away. Swatted from behind by Camby. Nastarovich sends it back. Ginobili, closely guarded, gets it to go with the clock winding down. Only 5 left on the shot clock. Nastarovich sends it away. Bruce Bowen puts down the one-hander. Miller advances the ball. Pulling up, can't find the hole. Duncan with the solid defensive effort.
He did a very good job of staying with his man and challenging the shot.
He won't be denied. Tim Duncan. Bowen keeping himself between the basket and his man. Sent back by Duncan.
Great defensive pressure, Mark.
That was a terrific steal by Miller. Controlled around the key. Anthony with the jumper. A long two doesn't go. We have a timeout called by San Antonio. Brings it up court. Parker working from the middle. Camby on the denial. Ori in traffic. Buckner with the jump shot, misses the two.
Ori, nice job of denying the open look to force the miss.
from the low block. He drains it. Martin tries the jumper with the bucket and the foul. Duncan with a weak foul. That was not the result he was looking for.
Shooting one for the Denver Nuggets, Kenyon Martin.
The Nuggets able to take advantage of the three-point play. Able to hit from downtown. He sets up on the right. From the post, the shot erased by Duncan.
How about the defense, Mark? Exceptional so far.
They've caused the other team to commit a number of turnovers. Martin puts it up. The Spurs want to talk it over.
For Denver, number 24, Andre Miller.
Advances up court. Hits from the post.
Duncan.
Brings it up court. Duncan creating the turnover.
He just kept at him and eventually came away with the ball.
The pass played perfectly by Miller. Denied by Barry. Johnson blocks it. Martin with the penetration. Throws it down. Johnson stays on his feet, out of bounds, off the glass. Nesterovic is checking it off the bench for the Spurs. He changes direction. Miller, not a lot of space.
To number 21, Tim Duncan.
Duncan with the foul. That's his fourth personal, third-team foul. It's good. Miller sinks them both. Martin swats it away.
Nesterovic is doing a stellar job rebounding the basketball. He's playing with energy and crashing the boards on every possession.
Four on the clock. Three to get it off. Hits the two. That is a matchup we'll keep an eye on in this one.
It's a mismatch there, Mark. Anytime they play that defender on him, he's going to come away with the basket.
He tees it up. Yes!
Tim Duncan.
Rejected by Ori. Comes from behind for the block. The Nuggets need to be more careful passing the ball.
They're lucky that pass didn't result in a turnover.
From in deep,
Defensive foul
Miller
to
is
number
fouled,
17.
and it'll be charged to Barry. First shot is good. Miller makes both free throws. Number 2 bringing it up court. He sets up on the left side. Anthony on the rejection. Loose ball out of bounds. Ori played by Anthony. Carmelo Anthony powers it through. Launches it from downtown. The 3 is off the mark.
2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
The shot misses from just inside the arc. Number 2 handling. Shot clock is down to 5. Ori with 2 left. The 2's no good. Forced to take a bad shot that time.
Nothing you could do but put it up. The 24-second clock was about to expire. It would have been an automatic turnover.
Shot clock's at 5. Dunks it with both hands.
Barry.
Sent away by Ori. Three to shoot. Nesterovic with 3 to shoot. Canby with the strip. Less than 24 now. The shot clock is turned off with the emphatic dunk.
Canby.
Time has run out on this one. The Spurs have won the first game of the Western quarterfinals.
Winning game 1 is a big first step. They need to build on this heading into game 2.
Here is tonight's player of the game. Here are the stats for tonight's game.